right, back here on Lewis Live. It looks like Alone Grow Notice taking the Sleepy title. He'll be the nickname. He'll be Sleepy Alone. He didn't pick up his phone. But we have a great backup plan. Really, it's saying backup. I mean, this is plan A. Radio Mike came to Israel in addition to do this show and to take me to Comedy for Kobe to do a stair climbing race. He climbed the Israeli towers. So, Radio Mike, tell us how you did.
Well, I did as good as I did the last 2 years. Namely, I ended up in last place.
But you were first of the Jerusalem runners.
Yes, I was the first of the Jerusalem runners, and I have to qualify that again, doing the three-tower race. There are three buildings in Azrieli, the square, the round, and the triangular. And like about 700 people do just one building, 52 flights. But, I did power through and did all three buildings, 140 flights. And that's only 35 people, and these are the really elite people in Israel. And some of these are world-class athletes from around the world. I mean, some of them are really, really great, and I'm just happy to be able to participate with them. And even if I did finish last, a lot of these people are half my age. I'm still happy to participate, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, the first place time, what was that for the three buildings?
I think this year was a little bit slower than last year. I think it was about 19 minutes. I did 140 floors. I did it in 52 minutes. Which is about 3 floors per minute. But if you can imagine, I can't even imagine how fast they're going. They're doing 2 steps at once. These guys are superhuman, and kol hakavod to them. And they're really, a lot of these guys are really, and women also, they're really, really in great shape, and they do a great job.
We calculated this off the air that basically the winning time is doing 7 flights a minute. Is that what we said?
Well, yeah, that's basically right. I'm doing about 3 flights a minute, so they're going a little bit like twice as fast as I am. So it's not that, it's a great time. And but typically I do have other friends that are world-class climbers, and I have a competition with them that they have to do the building twice as fast as me. Otherwise, I win the event compared to them. But it's, a person my age and whatever. I'm not the best athlete in the world. To finish it is enough of accomplishment for me.
So you did this last year. It's about once a year. And the training that you do from event to event, what are you doing to prepare for it?
Well, the most important thing is the diet, I really think. I mean, you have to you have to put your time in the gym. I use Stairmaster. Now I'm working out with my son-in-law, Jonathan Schwab. We're climbing buildings. Actually, in his building, we climb in his building. He has 16 stories, and we climbed that like 8 times on a Sunday morning. So we get a good workout doing that. Actual steps is always better than just a machine. Unfortunately, we have to, after each 16-flight jaunt, we have to go and take the elevator down, so we get a minute rest. Really, in one of these buildings, you get a rest after you finish like 45 floors about. So, but you still get a good workout after you do 120, 130 flights, even in his building.
All right. Now, tell us your next building that you want to try to conquer. What's on your mind next?
Well, in about 10 days, I'm supposed to get the results if I got accepted to the Empire State Building in New York. I've done that once before. Typically, they have only like 600 climbers for that building, and this year they're cutting it down for some odd reason, I don't know why, to 250. And hopefully it's somewhat of a lottery, and you have to write a paragraph about yourself. And hopefully, because I live, relatively close to the Empire State Building, maybe I'll get picked again, so that would be a thrill for me to do it a second time.
So when you accomplish this and when you're done, your feeling is what?
I'm happy that I finished. Sometimes I wonder, well, why don't I find a different hobby? That would be,
like an easier hobby.
An easier hobby, maybe stamp collecting or crocheting yarmulkes, something like that. That would be a lot better. No, actually, when you're finished with an event, you're really proud of yourself. You thank God that, I'm healthy enough to be able to do this. In this particular case, I did raise money for a certain organization. The view from on top is really just unbelievable. You've seen all around Tel Aviv, from edge to edge. It's and the people that do it are just number one. they're so friendly and they're so accommodating and they're so nice. And I came to Israel basically just to do this. I mean, I wouldn't fly to Japan to do a building because once you finish a building in Japan, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't eat non-kosher sushi. So what else is there for me to do in Japan? But in Israel, it's just been great. The restaurants here and the atmosphere. I just love coming here. So it's not just the stair climb. It's because there's a stair climb in Israel. That's why I come here.
And in addition to this show that you're on right now, and also you're on Arutz Sheva and did the Stairmaster and went to the Comedy for Kobe last night. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, well, Comedy for Kobe. I mean, there's a tragedy happens. So what do? So you have a choice in life. A son is killed in a terrorist attack. So, you can just cry yourself to sleep and, So instead they make comedy shows to raise funds for other people and other families that need help in counseling or whatever, or take them, families on a vacation, a 2-day or 3-day, just a mini vacation, and going to a comedy club. Well, not a comedy club, it was a theater in Jerusalem. And and the comedy, these guys were really, really funny. There was one girl, she made fun of my mustache, but
she picked on your mustache way too much.
Yeah,
I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean,
it's kind of weird. She did that, but we sat in the front, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll sit in the back, or maybe I'll just shave off my mustache. But I mean, that's the Jewish people. We get hit and we get beaten up, but you know what? We just tighten our belts and we go even further and higher, and we don't just act depressed, and we keep on going, and that's why we have a great state like we do in Israel.
And two of the comedians went to Israel for the first time. I thought that was very interesting because they talked about that after the show. They weren't scared. They thought everyone should come. And what did that mean to you? Because you've been to Israel obviously several times.
Well, I think that takes a lot of courage of these people. I mean, Israel has such a bad rap. I mean, it's so dangerous here, and it's dreadful. Like, I remember one time one of my trainers, he said, "Oh, well, you're going to get a good workout when you go to Israel, dodging all the bullets." And I said, "No, I'm not going to see any bullets. That's ridiculous. And people have the idea that it's all desert land, and it's just awful. And unfortunately, terrorist attacks do happen, like in Har Nof, and it's very sad that things do happen in Israel. But unfortunately, things happen in Australia, too. It's very sad. The world is not the safest place.
All right. But Radio Mike did come, have a good time, and did all 3 buildings of the Israeli towers. So that's good stuff there.